Hello everyone and welcome back to our show. Now we are almost done with this mini-series, so we're on to the 80s. The 80s was a new year of discovery, like the internet, video games, all the fun jazz. The internet was invented in 1983, and everything was targeted there. Well, not everything, but most, since it was new, stuff started being targeted on the internet. Not a lot of people really knew how to work it, so not all, only risky advertisers would, but not a lot, because they didn't know pretty much how it worked. They didn't know what they would do, all that fun jazz. But because of that, a new stage of marketing was born. New stage of, I don't know what it's called, but of where, have you ever seen those, not Geico, but general commercials of where that has that one guy that everyone knows but not really knows what his name was? Yeah. Well, the 80s basically invented that. They had so many references and so many different people that everyone knew. Like Pac-Man. Everyone knew Pac-Man. One guy from Ghostbusters. I don't know his name, but I know the movie. The car from Ghostbusters, but as a Mustang. Or, I'm pretty sure it is a Mustang. But, they had so many different ads and different things. Like Apple came out. The ads for Apple is A is for Apple. This first thing that you should know about a personal computer. Apple computer. It was one of the first things that came out. There's Mustang commercials almost everywhere. And they're still targeted to kids. Legos. Toys build anything, especially Pride. What is a beauty? These peanuts look fresh and crunchy. The guarantee that they'll taste that way. That's a King Crunch. The King of Crunch since 1934. And because of this, more and more ads go out of people that you know. There's McDonald's ads, Golden Standard for their french fries, and there's just ads of everything that everyone knows of. There's less and less ads of, what's it called, cigarette ads. There's less of those. There's less beer ads. There's less ads that's not good. The companies start noticing that if we're targeting to a younger demographic, we can't be targeting cigarettes or beer, because this isn't going to make them, this is going to make them addicted. We want them to be addicted. It's just, not in that way. So we're more advertising comics, like the world's greatest fight in the world, Superman versus the amazing Spider-Man, pursuit of evil side by side. And just stuff that thinks, oh, yeah, my kid wants one, or, oh, my wife would love that, or my husband would love that. And there's now more and more horror movie ads. There's fashion, that's becoming a breakthrough. And then there's also Pepsi ads. There's more Pepsi ads than Coke ads, because Coke slowly started not putting as much ads. And through all these ads that are, putting out there, there's less and less and less cigarette ads. There's maybe about 2 that I've found through, and only 1 beer ad. Most of these are demographic to kids. One of them is introducing the first kids cereal even a mother could love. Cabbage Patch Kids. There's not a lot of toy ads. I say as I went through 4 and said them out loud. But, there's not a lot of them anymore. There's some here and there, but there's mostly targeted to kids for kids food and to adult women for, not shoes, but fashion and how they should put their hair up. And, oh, have you seen this? Yeah, my wife would love it. Or, yeah, my husband would love it. And it's just all targeted to women and children. Now they're slowly getting men into the demographic, but they're adding more and more, but they're just all demographic to women and kids. They're thankfully putting more and more colored people into these ads. About almost every 5 that I see, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then boom, colored person. It makes me happy to see, because then they're starting to slowly immigrate to the well-now known future of where we can see colored and white people together in the same ad instead of separately, of where they're mixed together instead of separately. We can see it as the future instead of the past. And it just makes me really happy to see. Okay, so so with marketing stuff, games became really popular. There was Nintendo, Atari, Sega. Atari was first, but they weren't really used to the competitor, like having to compete to advertise for their games, because they were used to everyone buying their games. And so they kind of really dropped out. Not pretty fast, but nowadays barely anyone knows who they are. And then Nintendo came next. They were really popular, but instead of putting out for kids to have in their house, they put it out in arcades, so kids had to spend money to get them, which was pretty smart. But and then Sega came out last. In 1989, it came out the Sega Genesis, and so the gaming department for marketing, like, those are the most 3 well-known ones, well, most 2 well-known ones, but how they advertised to kids and got them to, like, be like, oh, Mom, can we get Pac-Man? Or, oh, Mom, can I go down to the arcade? Was by showing colorful 8-pixel gameplay. Colorful as in the Pac-Man ad that I saw that said, let me just take a bite, was very colorful. The ghosts weren't blue. They were very, like, different colors of variations on a black backdrop with a bright orange Pac-Man. And he was trying to eat them. That seems playful and fun for children. And so they thought, oh yeah, if we make it for children, then they're going to love it. If we demographic to them, if we know what they want by making everything bright and colorful. That's what it is with Barbies nowadays. She, like, has pink, purple, green, like, other different bright can be colors. And, like, that demographic is for children, because children love bright things that make them, like, make things pop and just look really good. But off of just my rant about bright colors and kids loving video games, and video games in general, was conservatism affected the market business because of it splitting up. It's basically splitting apart different groups of marketers. They split up the ones that their core demographic was conservative people, split up of where they market to them and no one else, of where then the companies that don't want to market to conservative people and that want to be, like, kind of neutral will market to everyone else. And I'm not gonna, like, it's smart for both ways, because then you have a core demographic that you know of, that you like, but with the same beliefs. And so it's easier for them, at least, to think, hey, it's pretty easy, like, can we do you want a Coke? Because that's kind of like a peace offering. That's, like, type of advertisement that they have is like, oh, Coke is a peace offering. But if Coke isn't conservative and you give it to a conservative friend that, believes in conservatism, like a religion, basically, then there's trouble there, because you don't, like, if you're staying in the neutral, I understand for, like, thinking, hey, it's a smart move, because you can demographic to anyone besides the conservatives. Anybody besides that demographic. But if you're a conservative company and you try demographing to anyone else besides your main group of people, then things get fishy, because you don't know who to target. You don't know who you want to give money to. And, like, be like, hey, you should buy my product because of this, this, and this. It's really hard with that, like, whole section, because they're having to choose whether to stick with a certain demographic for the rest of their life or target other things. And that's like where some people get wishy-washy, is because they don't know where to target. But yeah, that's all I'm going to talk about today. Hope I can see you guys next episode. Bye. Hope you have a great night. Or, well, day, evening, wherever you are at. Bye.